Hey there guys, Furby from Games and Bacon here, and today we're just going to be looking at the looking for dungeon system. We're going to be looking at the way the characters scale, and we're going to be looking at the huge benefits you get from gearing correctly and making sure that you're doing your job correctly as well. First thing to note is that no matter what level you are, whether you're level 21, whether you're level 30, 40, 50, if you queue up for a level 20 dungeon, you will be normalized into level 20 stats. The only real advantage you get is that you probably will have gear that's more suited to your role, and you also will have extra abilities. So other than that, your damage should be on par with other people, and you should also be doing your role effectively, whether you're a level 50 DPS and the tank's only level 20. Shouldn't make too much of a difference as long as they have, the correct stats as well. Now what I mean by having the correct stats is, for example, the player you're seeing in the background. We have a tank here, and our tank is running full AP, that's attack power. He's not using much of any support power at all other than what he gets generally. And we had a DPS in this group, and he wasn't very happy because he kept pulling aggro. And he was like, and this DPS was saying, oh well, I'm level 30 and you're only level 20, you can't tank this at level 20. Well, that's ridiculous because it's a level 20 dungeon, and because of the way the scaling works, he absolutely can. The only thing that was stopping it was the fact that he was using attack power and not support power. So when you're leveling, when you're grabbing gear and you're thinking, oh, I don't want this, I'm leveling, it's support power and I want attack power, you can pick that up anyway, pop it into the bottom of your inventory, keep it for when you get to level 20 and you want to do those dungeons, because you will need it and it will make a difference. So the way a group would generally work is you want a tank. That tank will be taking support power mostly. He wants to be mainly looking at support power, so if you're a tank, you want support power items. You also want your mitigation as well, so you take less damage than everyone else in the group. When it comes to DPS, you want to go full attack power, and when you're DPSing, you want to be doubly sure that you're not standing in anything with red circles on the bottom. Any telegraphs that are bad, you do not want to be stood in them. The tank's got an extra second or two to move, although that doesn't really give him any excuses to not be moving if he's able to. But he should be able to stand there and take a few more hits than everyone else. If you're a healer, you want to be looking at support power as well. In fact, you're probably seeing the gameplay in the background. I stand quite far away. I completely ignore the ads. You don't want to be looking at them. The only time you might do that is if you need to stun, because a lot of bosses and mini bosses will have the interrupt armor, and if you're a healer and you've got enough room to put a stun into your action set, then that's fantastic. You just want to make sure that your team is alive. You'll see that I'm standing quite far back. I'm trying to keep in a position where all my abilities are going to hit, and that's generally what you want to do. So the tanks want to be right in front of the bosses, they want to be taking the brunt of it, and they want to be keeping aggro. Aggro is the most important thing, and that's where your support power comes in. Because your support abilities, which give you extra aggro, are scaled on your support power, you really need that support ability, because having attack power with your support abilities is not going to get you anywhere. You're going to be having the DPS pull aggro off you, and it's just not good for anyone, because the healers are going to struggle to heal that DPS, and your group's going to fail and you're going to take a lot of damage, unless you've got a really good healer, which luckily this group did. Yeah, so your tanks are support power based with mitigation, your healer support power based with awareness and good team awareness. You want your DPS to be running attack power, running their attack power that's going to suit them, and be very aware of what's going on around them and aware of their surroundings. The really big thing that I want to get across is that it does not matter what level you are. You are scaled, and whether you are level 30 or 40 or 50, it really does not matter. Yes, you will have a few extra abilities, but you're not going to make that huge of a difference. I used to, during the closed beta, I was tanking with my level 50 character in Kelvarath, for example, and I would still die a lot because the healers were you know, subpar. They were new to the game, so I did my best to teach them, tell them what to do, help them out. And we always got the dungeon finished. It was never, well, sometimes it was very quickly, but sometimes it was very, very slow, and that was because these people weren't 100% sure what they were supposed to be doing. Sure, a lot of the healers that were coming in with attack power, and you know, they weren't looking and focusing on the team. They were more looking at, oh, can I do some damage while I'm healing as well? Well, no, to be honest, you really can't. Or they weren't managing their resources properly or anything like that. But that's general play, you know. But for this scaling of the dungeons, it really is a matter of making sure that your attributes are in the right place for what role you're playing. Again, healer, tank, support power, and DPS attack power. So yeah, no matter what level you are, as long as you've got your attributes in the right place and a general idea how to play your character, you should not have a problem. If you've got a level 50 DPS and you're a level 20 tank, it should not be too much of a problem. If anything, that level 50 player should know to give you 3 or 4 seconds to get some aggro and allow you to get aggro and tank, and it shouldn't be a problem. So if you do go into any dungeons and you have someone like I did in this dungeon griefing you about your level, or you know, anything like that, well, tell them just obviously aren't too sure what's going on. They obviously don't know how to play the game properly. They don't know how the dungeon works and how the scaling works. And you can tell them that if anything, you know, if they are pulling aggro, you can say, sorry, you know, I've just not got enough support power yet, because I'm only level 20. The only downside to being a level 20 versus a level 50 is they will have a full attack power or a full support power armor gear, because they've obviously been playing longer, they've been able to pick it up and collect it, and you may not have. You may be a couple of items shy of having a full support power gear, and that can be quite a big difference. Or for example, if you've got enough support power to keep aggro but your mitigation is too low because you've got a bad shield or something like that, that can also be a problem as well. However, it is completely doable. There's a reason these are level 20 dungeons. If you come across anyone that's giving you grief, you know, just ignore them. You can right click and ignore, and just get on with it. Make sure that your healer's fine, keep it clean, keep it safe, make sure that you're just doing your job as well as you can, and have fun with it mostly, because that's what this game's about, right? The combat is incredibly fun, and the way the game is fantastic. So what I would do is I would just completely not worry about them, make sure your attributes in the right place, and you should be good to go. Okay guys, I waffled on for a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it is quite important to me, because it was this dungeon that you're seeing here where this happened, and I was quite upset, and I was trying to defend our poor tank. So I just wanted to put this out here for all the people that aren't 100% sure, or if they think they know better and they really don't, you know, link them to this. And yeah, for everyone out there that's getting into dungeons right now, you know, a lot of people in the open beta have already surpassed level 20, but not everyone has. For anyone getting in there and enjoying it, but maybe aren't 100% sure what they're doing, you know, come and I really hope this has helped you, and just keep trying, man. Just keep going at it, and you will get better. And yeah, just keep practicing, dude. Practice makes perfect. I'll see you next time, guys.